episode 97, Best Movie Deaths. Hello and welcome to this episode of 5 to 1. 5 to 1 is all about the countdown from our panel of experts on a different topic each episode. Today, we are featuring the best movie deaths in our style of counting down from
5 to 1.
I bet you guys don't know what that song was from.
It sounded familiar.
I don't know what that was from.
It's the old, really old HBO intro song. HBO used to play this little intro before a movie would start, and it was like, hey, your movie's about to start, and it was this whole animated sequence where they're flying over a town all the way into like your living room, and then it's like the screen comes up and it's like your movie's about to start.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Before my time.
Before your time, for sure. You all right, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. We're back in the studio just a few days after our last recording.
You should just call it Stu.
Stu.
Yeah.
Because it's not the full studio.
Yeah. Sure. That's
Feels
not what
like-
I was saying. I was saying because Stu
Feels like
sounds
the
cooler
old
than
days when we
studio.
were just like doing episodes really fast, like week after week. This is the first
Yeah.
time we've done that in a really long time.
It really is, and we should have been much better at this down the stretch before you went to school.
True. Yeah.
Our plan was to get to 100 before that happened, and it didn't happen.
No,
But, hey,
a
we're
little
still
short.
recording.
And we're almost to 100.
Yeah. I mean, I love being here with you guys. This is my very favorite thing to do. We got the idea for this episode from loyal listener Evan Worrell.
Thank you.
He actually suggested it months ago. I'm really excited for this one. Our last two have been music-based, so it's nice to get some other pop culture
I
again.
love the movie ones.
Back in the realm of movies.
I think I like the music ones more than the movies.
I definitely like the movie ones.
I just like to alternate, you know?
Yeah.
I like the random ones too that we do. That
The personality ones, like pet peeves,
Yeah.
and biggest fears. Those are actually probably my favorite to listen to after.
Yeah.
You guys
Which
don't
is the
listen to
most
them.
popular? Like, what do most people?
Yeah.
listen
I
to?
wonder what our most popular episode is.
It's the first one.
No, it used to be. It was
Oh,
for a
it
long
got
time.
surpassed?
It got surpassed. I think it was rock music or something like that. I'd have to go look.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so we're doing movies again. Let's get some show stats out of the way. At the time of the recording, it is the 1st of January, 2023. This is our first recording in the new year. We all seem to be past the flu, finally, and hopefully running at full speed while we record our 97th episode together.
Wow.
Let's introduce our panel of movie experts before we go to our list. I am CK. I am joined by my two deadly sons,
Cade Moore.
my 18-year-old,
Jet Moore.
my 15-year-old, and we are
5 to 1.
I'm still 42, and I'm getting closer to my own movie death every day.
Happy Year of the Rabbit.
Is that what it is this year?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the year was when you were born?
I really want to say it was monkey.
I think mine was monkey.
Mine was monkey or tiger. I think it might be lamb. Lamb or goat.
We're just naming all the animals
I don't know.
now.
I'll eat all of them.
Yeah, you will.
It was monkey.
It was monkey?
Yes.
Mine's monkey too, I'm pretty sure. We did get a new 5-star review on iTunes, I noticed today.
Hell yeah. Didn't
So-
we request them? Didn't we tell our audience to give us a review on iTunes?
We did. I asked for written reviews, and unfortunately, we did not get a new written review to where I can like read it out loud on the podcast. But very much appreciate the 5-star rating. So whoever that was, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We are still at 100% on 5-star reviews.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Our show's perfect.
Yes. Also, this is important, kind of. We got a new phone number because I let the old one expire. I tested it out the other day, and it's done because we hadn't used it in a long time.
Oh, damn.
But I got another
I
one.
didn't even know that happens.
Yeah, it does because it's a Google number. You have to like use it. But I did get another one that ends in 5 to 1.
Whoa.
I know. It's just no longer in our
What is it now?
area code. The new number is 510-871-5 to 1. 510-871-5861.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you want to call and leave us a voicemail, that would be awesome. Time for our list?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you have any rules for your list, or did you have a hard time making your list?
So this is best movie deaths, right? I tried to do a combination of like sacrifices, satisfying deaths, and
Yeah, I
meaningful
kind of had a
deaths.
mixture of mine in
Yeah.
like different categories.
So I
too.
moved some stuff around to accommodate that.
I did the exact same thing. My only other rule was that I didn't want to have any repeats from saddest movie deaths that we did in our prior episode or prior recording.
I don't remember my list from then, so I probably have some repeats.
Mine are definitely no repeats. I did have a hard time because I came up with like 25 to 30 like that, you know, so I had a hard time narrowing it down. And even as I was doing it, I'm like, I'm leaving off some ones that I really want to.
This is definitely gonna be one of the episodes where one of y'all is gonna have something on your list and I'm gonna be like, damn, I forgot that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen for all of us. You guys ready to get started?
Yep.
All right, Cade, what's your
Number 5.
I had Leon. I think that's his name from Leon the Professional.
Oh.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
my number 5.
Really? No way. Are you serious?
Actually,
Yes. Yeah.
it's pretty sad.
This movie is top 10 for me. I love this movie.
Great movie.
It's not one of the saddest deaths for me though, because I knew it was coming like from the beginning of the movie. I knew that he was gonna die.
It's still a telegraphed punch because
Yeah.
he was so
Yeah.
close. It
Well-
always hurts the most when they're so close.
This one hits all the meaningful feels for sure. Okay. So for those who haven't seen the movie, Leon plays a professional hitman.
Oh yeah, we should give like a spoiler alert for all of these movies.
Yeah, true. So if you don't want to learn about the professional, like skip ahead a bit. But he plays a professional hitman. He adopts a very young Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
In fact, it was her.
She's
first,
like 15 or 16.
She's
in the
11.
movie. Oh, really?
11. It's her first movie role.
She looks older than 11.
her
No.
outfit in the movie was
She's
fire,
tiny.
dude. I loved her outfits in the movie.
I thought
And
she was like
Leon's, too.
13, 14 at least.
No, 11. It was her very first movie role, and she beat out like a ton of famous people to get it. They rejected her at first for being too young, and then during her audition, she like cried on cue, and it was so emotional. They were like, "Oh my god, this
We
girl's
gotta
so
hire her."
good!"
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's great in that movie.
Yeah,
She's
she
better in
is.
that than she is older as Padme. Amidala.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's her best role, to be honest.
She played the role of like being like so scared all
Yeah.
the time, really well under pressure,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
This movie's great. I
It
love
is.
the whole thing. The action scenes are cool.
yeah.
I love his glasses.
I looked up. I wanted to buy his glasses, the original pair. They're a pair of like Jean Paul Gaultier. I don't know, from like the 80s or something like that. And there's 3 different versions of the ones that he's wearing, just like in different colorways, and all of them are like $3,000,
I can
$4,000.
imagine. Yeah.
Damn, bro, they're so cool. They're like small and circular,
Yeah.
and they got like gold trimming on the side. But
Well, Leon takes on a father figure role to Natalie Portman's character, and after a very
I think
heroic,
I've seen that actor in something else. But
yeah,
I
he's
can't-
been in lots of stuff. He's in Mission Impossible.
yeah,
After a very heroic end sequence where he helps her escape the bad guy, played by Gary Oldman, who fucking kills it in this movie.
He's just insane. This whole movie.
He's so good in every movie. I love Gary Oldman, but Leon sacrifices himself with a grenade to ensure that Natalie is safe. Natalie Portman's character, and he tells Oldman's character, "This is from Matilda," and then boom, everything blows up. It's so good. You also get 2 deaths with this scene. You get the meaningful one of Leon, and you get the satisfying one when
Yeah.
he kills
This
Gary
is
Oldman.
a great death scene.
Yeah.
even though I saw it coming, you know.
Yeah, it's really good. So I picked it because
That's so funny
the
that-
death is poignant, it's emotional, it's meaningful, and also because it's really just a great movie. I wanted to show it some love.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I can't believe we had
Well,
a
my
same
next
spot.
pick is not like as meaningful at all.
That's fine. Some of mine are not. Oh, before we move on, one quick fact about this movie. There was a robbery nearby when they were filming it on the streets, and the guy who robbed whatever store he left, he accidentally ran onto the movie set, and there were a bunch of extras wearing police uniforms because it was the scene where all the police are on the
Yeah.
street, and he thought it was real, and he turned himself in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god,
That's crazy.
that's awesome.
All right, Jet, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Marvin from Pulp Fiction.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I really like this death because like it moves the plot like into it's like completely different.
Yeah. No, it's a good one, and it's totally surprising. Like you don't see it coming at all. Yeah, it's the scene. For those who don't know, John Travolta and Samuel Jackson are sitting in the front seat of the car. They got Marvin in the back, and John Travolta just like turns around to talk to him, and he's got his gun in his hand.
And he just accidentally shoots him in his face.
Yeah.
And then they have to clean it from that one dude. Who's that actor with the what does he have, coffee?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen Pulp Fiction, but that's a good one. It's got that surprise factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does push the plot in a way because
They have to like clean it up and it leads to other stuff. I just can't remember either. I haven't seen the movie in a pretty long time.
yeah. It's been years since I've seen this movie.
yeah.
I'm like trying to piece together the scene.
Right. It's a good one though. It's a good pick.
Well, another one I could have picked is John Travolta's death because his is pretty shocking too. Like he just gets shot like on the spot.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect him to get shot because, like, they didn't say a word. Like, Books just walked in with the machine gun.
Yeah.
They looked at each other and he just shot him.
Just shot him. Yeah.
And he was, like, the main character because he had the most screen time in the movie.
Yeah. Although I still feel like Bruce Willis is the main character. in
Oh,
the movie.
yeah. Butch.
He doesn't get as
He's
much
the
screen
best
time.
character in the movie.
But he's kind of like the heart of that story. Yeah.
He's probably the best dude, like the most righteous out of all of them. I feel like
Yeah, I would agree.
because all of his actions are justifiable, in my opinion.
Agreed. And he saves Marcellus. He didn't have to.
And Zed's dead, baby.
Zed's dead, baby. What's in the briefcase?
I don't know, but the code is 666, so it's something
I think.
satanic. That's what people like have movie theories like.
Well, they open it
conspiracy
and it's like shining
theories. It's like
gold.
glowing.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's C-3PO's head.
Maybe
All right, that's all. That's all you had for
Marvin.
Pulp Fiction. Okay, I had the same number 5 as Cade with Leon Professional. So, Cade, what is your
Number 4.
I picked an iconic one, and it's probably going to be on one of y'all's list. Maybe not yours because it's too common. But I had the T800
That's a good
Oh,
one.
it is on my
from
list.
T2. Yeah, I figured it would be.
Yeah,
That's
a really
my
good one.
number
Yeah.
3.
It's very iconic.
The thumbs up as
Yeah.
he's being
It's been
drowning in
replicating.
the lava.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things. It was in Ready Player One.
The
I-
Iron
the
Giant. Iron
did it.
Giant's a good death,
That
too.
was a good one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would.
That one's sad.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the T800 is really good. I thought about that for mine. It's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
The only thing that it takes away from it a little bit for me is that it didn't really matter because all the other the future still happened and all the other Terminator movies still happened. But if you look at just T2 in and of itself, it's very.
I don't really
touching.
care about any of the other Terminators except for the first two, to be honest.
And the show Salvation.
I haven't
is fire.
seen it.
So good.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Only,
either.
only one season, but man, it's good. Yeah.
The new
And
ones-
the
new ones
soundtrack
kinda
that's playing
suck.
too while he's dying is
Beautiful.
good. Mm-hmm. That song.
That's a near perfect movie. It's a great,
Yeah,
great,
just
great
about.
movie. Yeah.
I'd say it has perfect replay value.
And it's perfect for Arnold because it's not like he's a super talented actor, but he just has to play a robot basically.
Yeah.
And it works.
That's like the perfect role for him.
yeah.
Would you say Arnold Schwarzenegger is like you know how Manny Pacquiao is to the Philippines? Is he like that for American people or Austrian people? Because he
No.
also was senator of California,
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was he senator? I think he was governor.
governor. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. No.
you
He's
don't
not
think
the
he-
Manny Pacquiao
No.
of our country. No.
I don't know. I think they're like in prevalence to like where they're coming from. I think they're equally as popular.
I think
Among
Pacquiao
the
could
people.
take him.
Probably. You think Pacquiao could take him?
No.
No.
I don't think
know
so.
about that one. I think too much of a size difference.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pacquiao's got the speed though.
in a
Yeah, true.
in a boxing match, prime to prime, Pacquiao would probably win.
I think so too in a boxing match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if Arnold can bear hug him, then it's over. Like,
Mm-hmm. So
have you
for
guys seen that
anybody-
picture when Arnold was filming Conan the Barbarian and he's standing next to Andre the Giant and is it Wilt Chamberlain?
Yes, I have.
And he
He's,
looks
like,
tiny.
Yeah, he looks
How
crazy.
tall is Andre the Giant?
7'3", and he's shorter than Wilt, so maybe he's 7'2". Then I don't know. And Arnold looks like it. It
How
looked
tall
like
is
you
Arnold?
standing-
Like 6 foot?
he's less. He's like 5'10".
I think he's taller than that.
Look it up.
I don't know.
So he's like the same height as Mike Tyson.
Mike
Mike
Tyson's
Tyson's shorter.
Shorter than that. I think
He's like
He's
5'7".
5'8".
No, he's not.
Look it
yes,
up.
Yes. Look at his fights. Mike Tyson's fights against all the other heavyweights. They're all like
yeah, they're
taller
all
and
like
bigger than him.
He's like Kratos, dude. Like compared to them.
You're right.
Yeah. All right. Anything else about Terminator?
No, the Jet's probably gonna have something to say later.
How tall is Mike Tyson? 5'10".
Okay, and then look up Arnold.
He's not 5'7".
I don't know if these never. I don't really trust these for athletes or actors.
6'2".
He's not 6'2".
Yeah.
He's maybe 6 foot.
Yeah,
I think he's 6 foot, like your height.
maybe so. I'm more muscular though.
All right, so it's
True.
my turn.
Yeah, what's your number 4?
I have Tyler Durden as my number 4.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. That's my what's it called? Number 3.
That's my number 1.
It's one of the
Or
most
number 2. Sorry.
like intense deaths, I feel like, because like once he realizes it's all in his head and then he has the gun and he shoots himself in the head, I'm like, did he just kill himself?
Yeah. Watching
Yeah.
it for the first time, it was like,
I was like,
whoa.
what just happened? And
Yeah.
then Tyler Durden speaks and then there's smoke coming out of his mouth and then
Yeah.
he falls over. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously biased. It's my number 2.
Oh.
I'll wait to talk about it till
Damn.
we get there.
I didn't expect us to have this many repeats.
I know. I didn't think so either. And you go ahead and talk about it. I'll talk about mine when I get there.
I mean, the whole sequence leading up to it is also awesome when, like, on the camera, he's fighting himself and he's like Bruce Lee and he's
Yeah.
like teleporting around and kicking his ass.
Yeah,
Like,
kicking
the
his
whole,
own ass.
That whole, like, last 20 minutes is just amazing.
It's my favorite movie ever.
It's a great death.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. My number 4. I'll give you a clue. It's a Christmassy type.
Die Hard.
No.
Hans Gruber.
Good guess, but no. Consider that Christmassy type movie. No eating after midnight.
Gremlins.
Don't get them wet, and they hate the sunlight. Yeah, Gremlins.
Is it Stripes?
That would be the obvious choice when Stripe is like melting in that fountain when the sunlight comes through.
Oh, is it the one that blows up in the microwave?
Microwave? Yes. And the reason I picked this, I know it's a weird one, and I usually have a weird one for my number 4. When I was a kid, I always got freaked out at that scene in general because the mom is like in danger, right? They're coming at her with knives and they're scratching her face, and like she's alone in the
That
house.
scene is freaky, dude.
Yeah, it is terrifying
It's like
for a kid.
It looks like a slasher movie.
It really does. And so it terrified me, that whole scene. But then she puts one in the microwave and it like explodes and there's like goo all inside the microwave. And I don't know why, but that scene has always stuck with me, and it's gross, but it just kind of like shaped the way I saw microwaves forever afterwards. I have like microwave trauma.
You like never microwave your
I
food.
know, I never do. It's
Is it because of the gremlins?
That-
Maybe it's because of Gremlins. I
That
don't
death
know.
is kind of awesome though. Like seeing
Yeah.
it now.
Oh yeah, it's cool. And I learned this when I was reading about this. The movie was originally much darker than it was. The dog got eaten by gremlins in the original, and the mom got decapitated and her head thrown down the stairs.
Oh my
damn.
gosh.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be like a full-on horror movie.
Yeah, and then they lightened it up so like
Okay, well,
people could go see it.
The sequels completely threw that out the window. The
Oh, yeah.
second, the
They're like
second one
comedies.
is so goofy.
Yeah, they turn into comedy movies. But yeah, Gremlins was my number 4.
Do you know the name of the one that died?
No, I don't. I sure don't.
Stripe's death is pretty cool too.
His is really cool, yeah. And that's like the iconic one from the movie. But for me, the microwave one traumatized me more. So I don't know, it just always stuck with me. So that's my number 4.
What's kind of weird, I feel like Gizmo's more powerful than the Gremlins. Like in the second one,
He's
he like
smarter.
kicks all their asses. Like he's Rambo. Do you remember that
Yeah,
scene?
yeah. He's definitely smarter, and he's got, the heart.
He's cute.
He is adorable. Cuter than Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Cade, what's your...
Number 3.
My number 3 was Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Okay.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and my number 3 was a T-800.
Watching Fight Club for the first time and like seeing the death scene and then like realizing what happened,
Yeah,
it was like it like brought everything together. Also
Yeah.
satisfying and stuff like that. And
definitely.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that movie, that's another movie that's just about perfect. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah. And every time I watch it, I don't watch it all that often because I don't consider it a very rewatchable movie, but every time I do, I notice something that I didn't notice
Yeah, exactly.
before.
Something different from before.
It's like the king of foreshadowing.
And like it's
Yeah.
All
gained
movies.
it's gained more popularity recently in the recent years, and people have been like, "Oh, this movie is just like perfect for like that Sigma male mindset." Like this is
That
movie's
and-
all about targeting like toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like I think it does it in a way that's not the way people are taking it.
Right.
I think it's like
The movie's a
showing
lot
how, like
deeper than that. Like some of the themes, I saw a video on it. It's about nihilism and stuff like that.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
But
I talk a little bit about that when I
it's
get
getting
to
some
mine, too.
hate from like I guess the
Well,
feminist group because they're like this movie is just full of toxic masculinity, but I think it's like the movie's like targeting that.
Yeah,
of
it's not.
people.
It's not about
like,
it.
Yeah,
it's
not
actually
highlighting it.
It's
like-
poking at it.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
exactly.
And-
How like fragile.
Well, a lot of those Sigma
Exactly.
male, like the TikTok trends were stupid like that. You know, Patrick Bateman, like he was
Yeah.
everywhere. Like it just kind of
Yeah, they kind of grouped it into that, and I
Like-
was like, you guys are taking this the wrong way. You guys are taking the movie the wrong
because
way.
it's
Yeah.
it's poking fun at it. It doesn't mean that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Anything else for you about that one,
I think that's it for me.
Jed? Anything else
No.
about your T800? All right, my number 3. I'll give you a clue. It'll give it away right away. He chose poorly.
Oh, Indiana Jones 3.
Yeah, The Last Crusade.
Oh my gosh, I had that on my list, but I
got that pretty
took it
fast.
off.
That was good, Jed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's a satisfying one.
It really is.
Kinda
he-
scary.
the character's name is Walter Donovan. He's the bad guy in the movie. And there are lots of options for Indiana Jones, the franchise, if you wanted to pick an awesome death for the movie.
I was choosing that one or the Nazi ones because
The-
just
their
like
faces melt off.
melting off.
Who
Yeah.
was the
Really
worst
cool.
villain in Indiana Jones, excluding the fourth one? Because
Yeah, the fourth one doesn't count. Although there is a good death
Is it
scene in
from-
the fourth one
do you
too,
think
when that
it's-
guy gets
what's his
eaten
name,
by
Mullen?
the ants. And it
Oh,
takes him-
no! I cannot do that one.
What's
That,
his name?
Like solidified
Mullen
my
Ram
fear for ants.
from the second one.
Mola Ram. Yeah,
Is he the worst one? I mean, he's kind of goofy.
he like tears people's
sometimes.
hearts out and stuff.
It's kind of
cool.
cool, but he's also kind of goofy.
Yeah, I don't know who the best villain is. I mean, you've got
I don't really like the dude from the first. They're all just kind of assholes, honestly. They're all
Yeah.
very unlikable.
Well, who's the guy that
I kinda like the dude
Donovan,
from the
right?
first-
Donovan's
Walter
the guy.
Donovan is the guy who. Yeah. So what happens in The Last Crusade? Oh, there's also another good death scene. I forgot about this one. The big bald guy that Indiana fights and
Yeah.
backs
Oh,
him into
yeah.
the airplane.
That's probably like my
airplane
favorite
propeller.
fight in all of Indiana Jones. Is
Yeah.
that one right there. It was the most fun to play in a
Indiana
Lego game.
Jones has like really good fist fight scenes because in
Yeah.
the second one you also have that other big dude.
Oh, with the beard. Yeah. Then he puts him in the rock crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the punching sounds they make.
We
It's
used
like super like old school. Like the way like Harrison Ford throws a punch is so funny.
Yeah.
We used to fight over who would win, the bald dude from the first one or the big dude from the second.
I got bald dude.
Definitely the bald dude.
Taking the bearded guy.
Okay, the bearded guy. As soon as Indy had his full strength, because remember the girl was messing with the voodoo doll. He was kicking his ass. He was way faster.
The big guy got tired.
The dude from the first one just took his shirt off and beat the
he
fuck
was.
out of him.
Yeah, he was looking for it. He's like, oh, there's someone here that's not supposed to be here. I'm gonna go fist fight him.
And Indy got lucky.
Yeah,
Like,
there was no way that was that guy's first
he
time
got lucky
ever
with the
doing that.
propeller and he got lucky with the rock crusher.
Not
Yeah.
really, because as soon as he had his full strength, he kicked his ass. That's my point.
I don't
He had
think
the
so.
upper hand.
I think he was going to lose.
And the first fight, from the first movie, he just got destroyed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He got knocked down like 6 times.
Well, I went with Walter Donovan. I think because similar to Return of the Jedi for me in the Star Wars series, The Last Crusade is the one I remember the most from my childhood.
Yeah.
It came out in '89.
That's not how it is for me.
Yeah. Well, they did, the movies were all out way before you were born. So
Actually, just remembering from my childhood, I liked Temple of Doom, and I liked,
you loved Temple of Doom.
and I liked. What OT movie did I like the best? Because I liked Revenge of the Sith and Phantom Menace the most as a kid.
Yeah.
Probably Empire.
I would say probably the original.
Yeah, and then Empire.
Empire later.
But
yeah.
then as I grew up, I realized The Last Crusade is way better than Temple of Doom.
It is. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like better in every way.
The Last Crusade is
Return of the Jedi,
maybe
though,
as good as Raiders.
has never
to me.
been my favorite. Return of the Jedi is the bottom for the OT.
I'm not listening to this. So Walter Donovan's death is cool though because he has to pick the Holy Grail. He picks the wrong cup. The knight says you chose poorly, and then he ages like 100 years right in front of the Elsa's face, and is
Yeah.
like she's terrified. And
I
it's
recently
such an awesome scene.
watched all of them, and I never realized how like rated R those movies
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. So the first one, I believe it was Raiders, is mostly responsible for the PG-13 rating. It didn't exist.
Yeah.
Before. So
There's
this-
so many good deaths.
It
in
should be
Indiana
rated
Jones.
R. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. And the death at the end, it was like it could definitely be scary for kids. Like
Yeah.
watching his,
Thinking
like,
about it in the first
I
one,
mean, it's good because they're Nazis
I
and their
can-
faces are melting off and shit like that. But
I could think of 2. The one in the first one where the dude pulls out the sword and does all the tricks, and, then he just shoots them.
Do you know the
that's a
story
great
behind
one.
that?
And in the
Yeah,
beginning,
wasn't he hurt or something like that?
No, he had diarrhea because they were filming in another country, and he was like, "I don't want to do this whole fight scene," so he just pulled out the gun and shot him. Like it was improv, and they were like, "We're keeping that." That was actually pretty good. Yeah.
and in the very beginning of the first one, what's that jerk's name? Doc Ock. His death is
Oh,
shocking.
Satipo.
Also,
Satipo.
that that death used to scare me. 'cause
Yeah.
that's pretty brutal too. Like the spike is like
Yeah.
coming out of his head.
True.
Those movies, they never seem to like get me. Like that's like the like epitome of adventure movies
For sure.
It's the
Yeah.
best
Like
adventure movie.
when I watched all of them recently because I saw the trailer for the new one that's coming out. Like when I was watching them and doing laundry and like packing up to come here, I was like literally like sitting on the edge of my bed, like kicking my feet off the bed and just like watching it, like all excited,
You know-
and stuff like that.
The 5th one got a trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it when I went to watch Avatar.
What do y'all think?
I have not watched it yet.
Avatar
No,
series
you
is
haven't watched
overrated.
It?
I haven't seen the trailer yet. No.
What did you think of the trailer?
It looked fun.
Yeah, it looks.
It looks fun.
I hope it's better than Crystal Skull. honestly.
Yeah, me too. I think they were experimenting with Crystal.
Yeah.
I mean, all 3 have pretty obscure themes that are like otherworldly, but
Yeah.
Aliens is just I don't know. It didn't feel right.
It didn't fit with the other ones.
I mean,
of
I
course,
guess
neither
it's,
did
it's
Temple
for like
of Doom, but
people who believe in it because they covered like Hinduism and
Yeah.
Christianity. And
It just wasn't for
Crystal
me.
Skull had a lot of stuff in it that was good.
Yeah.
There were just a lot of parts that didn't work. Too.
Yeah.
What about Shia?
I don't mind
He-
Shia.
he did well,
I
honestly.
thought he was fine. A lot
Yeah.
of people hate on him. I thought he did fine.
I think he's overhated as a.
He is
I liked him in that
overrated.
movie, and I liked how they brought back Mary too, like with Indy.
Yeah, I did like that too.
I just didn't like Kate Blanchett in that movie. She was a pretty weird villain. She took me out of it a lot of the time with her sword and stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. But I do love Kate Blanchett overall as an actress.
I like her too, but I didn't like her in that movie. It was just a bad role.
The death scene that I chose from The Last Crusade is considered the first complete digital composite shot in cinema history, meaning that they filmed each stage of his aging process with like makeup and prosthetics and all that.
Whoa.
And then at the end, it was a
So
model.
it's like
'cause-
stop
yeah.
motion.
Kind of, but then they merged it together using digital cinematography, and it's the first complete digital scene,
That's really cool.
cinematography scene in cinema
Yeah.
history. Yeah,
I like how it followed historical accuracy too. I thought it's a clever death
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I liked it. All right, that was my number 3. Cade, what's your?
Number 2.
I had Boromir.
Oh,
His
yes.
sacrifice.
Oh, is that your number one?
My number 1.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, even
How do we have the same list?
I don't-
That's
I don't know.
crazy. I seriously had like 30 options, and
Okay, at least my number 2
Narrowed
is
it
going to be
down.
different.
No, but yeah, that sacrifice scene is. But yeah, like he had a bunch of like goofy and like ignorant moments before, and like
Yeah.
made up for it, I guess. So like,
yeah.
completed
They
his
paint him as a
character.
bad guy, like at first, like how it seems, but as the movie goes on, like he's fine, and he does get tempted by the ring, but so does literally everybody. The only
True.
person that resists it is
Aragorn.
Aragorn, and I don't know how. They don't even explain it really.
He's just that noble.
He's
He's
just that guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just him. He can
That's
do
why
it.
he's my favorite. Aragorn is my favorite.
Aragorn is boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he gets redemption for Boromir and he kills that orc, it's so cool.
Yeah.
That orc is by far my favorite.
What's the
out
name of the
all-
orc again?
I have no idea.
Or something
Uruk
like-
Hai. Yeah.
Uruk Hai.
Yeah, but what's that one?
He
is
has
like,
a name.
What color is he? Like reddish, kind
I thought he
of.
was like white, grayish.
He's got a white handprint on his head.
Yes,
from
yeah,
Sauron,
okay,
but
yeah,
he's,
yeah.
he's
Red.
black, but he's got red on him too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's-
What was the budget for the Lord of the Rings movies?
It had to be massive.
Yeah.
I mean, they filmed all 3 at once, and all 3 are like, they did borrow a lot of CGI from Star Wars, from
That's pretty
Lucasfilm. Did you know Mount Doom in Mordor is basically lifted from Revenge of the Sith?
oh,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And Gollum wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Jar Jar.
Hell yeah.
Jar
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 Jar's-
pioneered that technology. Same with Dobby.
Okay,
Dobby.
yeah.
is
That's the
from
one
Jar Jar
good-
too.
I don't
thing
blame that
about
guy
Jar
from what's it called? Not Spaceballs. Fanboys that has the Jar Jar tattoo on his back.
Yeah.
Jar Jar looks very good.
gonna be the shit.
For CGI, in 1999, Jar Jar looks really good.
Yeah.
He's just a annoying
character. Yeah.
I love how he got like young Anakin too with him, and they're like back to back, like crossing their arms.
Yeah.
See the two people that like people hated after that movie
I
came
know.
out.
Young Anakin is overhated too. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of stupid. It's just kind of goofy.
he is at times, but he did fine overall.
There are some. I
That
like
poor
his,
kid is like,
I like
he's
his scenes with
depressed now as an
Qui Gon.
adult.
That's when he does best. When he just has like scenes
Yeah.
with Qui Gon, they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else about Boromir? I'll save my comments.
Yeah, you
for
can
mine.
talk about him later.
Okay.
I'll add on something if
Cool.
it comes up.
All right, Jet. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is it's from The Departed. It's
Yeah, it's a good one.
Leonardo DiCaprio's character Billy.
Gets shot by Matt Damon.
My number Marvin was like the funniest. This is the most shocking. I've never been more shocked after a movie death than this
Yeah,
one. He
yeah.
just got capped, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like is he just dead? And
Yeah.
he was. I'm like, wow.
I haven't seen this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, you need to see it, dude.
You haven't seen The Departed?
Mm-mm.
It's so good. Yeah, you definitely should watch that
Yeah,
one.
I've
Oh
heard
well,
of it.
I just spoiled it for you. So.
I was not paying attention, so
Okay,
did
well,
not.
he's by far the best character in that movie too.
For
if
sure.
you rewatch it, it's just I like him so much more than Matt Damon.
That was his biggest snub. He did not win the Oscar that year. I don't know who did, but it wasn't him.
And I wasn't sold on Leo before this movie because I only seen him in Titanic, and
Yeah.
I thought he was a talented actor, but like I don't know, wasn't the actor for me. And I saw him in this movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's great.
Yeah, I think he finally won for Blood Diamond, which is also a good Leo movie.
And
but The Departed is
It was
better.
weird because I really liked Matt Damon before that movie, but then I watched that movie, I'm like, I liked Leo,
Oh, Leo's
so
so
much
much better,
more
yeah.
than Matt Damon. And
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is also good in that movie.
He's great in every movie. Yeah, that's
And
got an all-star
even
cast.
what's his name, Mark Wahlberg. I
Yeah.
even like him.
they
in
got
that
everyone in
movie.
this fucking movie.
Yeah.
What is this?
You need to watch
It's
it. dude.
it's Martin Scorsese. He's the director. He'd
Okay.
been snubbed
What-
a bunch of times for his other gangster movies.
Is this a crime movie, gangster movie?
Yeah,
Like,
I would say
it's like my favorite gangster movie for sure.
Okay,
it's really good.
Interesting,
Yeah.
I watched a gangster movie recently. It sucked. It blowed. It was Donnie Brasco.
I don't like that one either. So many people like that movie.
That movie blows, dude.
It's
It's
not
like
good.
epitome. I probably used that word like 3 times in this podcast.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like every like corny, stereotypical like gangster
Yeah.
like, plot and type.
There's a lot of gangster movies that people love that I don't.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is another one.
Yeah, no, I
Scarface.
Like that one.
I didn't love it.
I liked it because of his accent in the movie. He was a cool character,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's all right.
I mean,
It's
even
just-
The Godfather.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
hating on it, but it's
people-
overrated.
People
Yeah.
love gangster movies. I mean, The Godfather is like the most praised movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's a gangster movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think
It's
they're
just not
slightly
for-
overrated.
I think they're way overrated.
But The Departed
except for The Departed.
is amazing.
Yeah.
It should be considered a top 10 movie of all time. I wouldn't care if it was in that list, but people don't consider it there.
Yeah.
They'd put Goodfellas and The Godfather
Yeah, that's
over it.
ridiculous. The Departed is definitely better than those.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a watch.
Casino's
then.
a pretty good one, and Heat is pretty good too. If you haven't seen those,
Yeah, started that. I don't know if I finished it, but I watched Donnie Brasco. And that shit sucked.
Heat is really good because it has Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in it, and they're like pitted against each other.
Okay.
And it's that. I mean, they're both phenomenal actors. They're perfected their craft. It's
I think I
just
like
really good.
I like watching like the cartel scene more than like the gangster Italian mob
Yeah.
scene.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
'Cause my favorite like I guess gangster movie like that is Blow. It's just like
That one is so
the
hard to
saddest
watch.
movie
Oh.
of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've only just heard about that movie, but everything I've heard is just bad. So
You know
Johnny
what you
Depp.
should do?
Watch
You
it.
should watch
Johnny Depp.
you should watch Narcos first and then watch Below.
Yeah.
So it can
Some
give you
context.
give you context on the whole Pablo Escobar scene, and then like his characters in the show that like the movie's about in Blow. Like he doesn't play like a huge role, but he plays a pretty large role.
Yeah.
And then like you watch the movie and see the rest of his story after Narcos, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. That movie's so hard to watch. I've only seen it once because it was dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
it's very sad. Yeah. All right. Was that your number 2, Jet?
Yeah, it was Departed.
Okay. Yeah, my number 2 we've already talked about, but I did want to add some stuff, and I'm gonna actually get a little ambiance. So my number 2 is Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Yes.
I'm obviously biased because Fight Club is my favorite movie of all time, but this is a really cool death scene. So the narrator, the main character, Edward Norton, figures out that he's the same person as Tyler Durden, and he can't. So he has a big fight with himself because he can't gain control of his body back. He starts to figure it out at the end, and all he had to do is shoot himself in the face, basically. And David Fincher is the director of this, and he's offered some commentary on it because some people have complained. I never had this complaint. It always made sense to me, maybe because I'm biased, but how could he shoot himself and live, but then Tyler Durden die?
Depends on what part of the brain he hit.
Yeah, but so the shot that went through the narrator's face went out his cheek, and Tyler Durden, it blew out the back of his head.
Yeah.
So how does that work? And I never really questioned it, but some have. So he talked about it, and in some of his commentary, he talks about the narrator could not find happiness in his life, so he goes on this journey of enlightenment in which he must kill his parents, his God, and his teacher. At the beginning of the film, his parents have already been quote unquote killed off. They're no longer part of his life. They talk about that a little bit too, like when they're talking about who they want to fight.
Yeah.
And they're talking about his dad and all that. And he kills God by doing things he's not supposed to do, the Project Mayhem and all of that. And then he has to kill his teacher, which is Tyler Durden himself.
Yeah.
He's obviously fighting some sort of mental health condition. And David Fincher's commentary was that in order to take control of your mental issues, it's not the action that counts, it's the decision to take said action.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like he was like, okay, I'm gonna, like he was set on killing himself.
Yes.
Right. So once he thought he did it, like that was it. Like
That was it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like I don't think it mattered if he put a bullet in his head or through his like chest or whatever like that. It was like the action of I'm gonna kill myself to kill you.
right, to kill that part of
And
me.
once
yeah.
he like made that decision, and then he was like free.
yeah,
Essentially.
exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing that's kind of weird is that like how everyone followed Tyler Durden, because if you think about it, a couple people just walked outside and they see a dude beating the shit out of himself, and
Yeah.
then they just join in.
Right.
And then like this whole Project Mayhem and Fight Club
Fight Club
starts.
started. Yeah.
But like,
but see,
why were they just so convinced?
because I always thought of it like this: Edward Norton the narrator created Tyler Durden to be all the things he wanted to
Yeah.
be. So Tyler Durden is like the perfect version of himself. He's charismatic. He's good looking in the way
So
he sees
he
it.
just
like,
has like this aura that
Yeah.
people like around.
And they casted
But-
it greatly because Brad Pitt at that moment is the best looking person on the planet.
But in the
absolutely.
context of
and
that-
his fashion in that movie is fucking
amazing.
fire.
Yes. Yeah.
But
He
in the
wears
context
those
of that
glasses.
movie, Tyler Durden's such a weird person. Like, he's the super likable guy. Then the next day, like that car scene with the two
Yeah.
guys in the back, he's just talking to Tyler Durden,
Yeah.
but to himself, and it's just super weird for them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Imagine that, like being in the back seat while this crazy dude is talking to himself
And
then-
arguing with himself and
crashing
driving,
the car.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. The scene where they fight for the first time in the parking lot that you were talking about, Tyler asks the narrator, "I want you to hit me as hard as you can," and the narrator kind of throws a weakish punch and he hits him in the ear. You remember this part?
Yeah.
Okay, so the director, David Fincher, he told Edward Norton to throw a relatively meek punch at first to hit him in the shoulder, but then he whispered in his ear, hit him in the ear instead. And Brad Pitt did not know this was coming. So when he hits him in the ear and he goes, "You hit me in the ear," that was an actual reaction. That wasn't even like scripted. So
And then he just like went off of it.
Yeah.
Wait, did they actually hit Edward Norton after then?
well, I don't. The rest of it is acting, right? But that part when he hit him in the ear was the director's
That looked real.
guidance. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. All right, so yeah, that's all I had about Tyler Durden. We talked about him a lot. All right, Cade, what's your
Number 1.
I'm surprised you might have it on your list.
What is it?
I don't know, but you don't.
I don't-
'cause
I
your
don't
number
think
one
you're
has
gonna
already
have my
been
number
revealed. My number one is Maximus.
I
Gladiator.
thought
mine.
about it. I thought about it for sure.
That one, I think that was the first movie that brought me a tear.
Yeah.
Was definitely that one. I guess they did like a Romeo and Juliet. They weren't really lovers, but Commodus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up both dying.
Yeah.
His death is satisfying too.
I was going to say that. I almost picked it for my number 5 instead because you get the 2 deaths in one.
But
One that's meaningful and one that's satisfying.
man, Maximus is sad.
Yeah.
It's crazy
the
how
speech
he-
gives, and then it
Yeah.
just like falls
He still
over.
kicked his ass while bleeding out.
Yeah.
He like it was like a flawless victory, and then he just died like
Yeah.
right after because he bled out.
Yeah.
Maximus is badass, Jet, but Achilles would kill him.
Okay, that's not fair. Like
I
that's
think it's pretty
that's
fair.
not even a comparison.
I mean, both are like mythical figures that like might have existed, might have not
If you
existed, but
take
like
Leonidas, Ragnar, and Maximus, and you put him against Achilles, Achilles would probably murder him.
I take Achilles
Oh.
over Kratos.
Okay, no, no way.
Yeah, I'll take Achilles over Kratos.
Dude, Kratos has killed Achilles' dad,
Yeah, that's true. Who's Achilles' parents again?
I don't
Zeus.
know.
He's a
right?
demigod.
Yeah,
right? he's a
it's-
demigod. I
it's-
think
I think
his
Zeus-
dad is Ares.
Zeus
The
slept
god
with
of
another
war?
woman,
I'm pretty
I thought.
sure it's Ares.
Of Achilles? No.
Yeah,
I don't
Is
think
it?
so.
I don't know.
I thought it was Zeus
I thought
slept
his
with,
mom was someone
I
too. Or
think
his
in-
mom just the person that just dipped
Dipped him in the river Styx.
In Greek
Yeah.
mythology, I think Zeus just slept with a mortal. And then
Oh.
Yeah, because he's a demigod. So
Yeah.
he's half human.
But-
Okay.
yeah, I think it was Zeus that did it, but I don't know.
I don't know either. But Jet knows more than I do about this. He played all
true.
of the God of War games. So.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Have you even beat the newest one?
No. It's
You
super
suck.
long.
You're terrible.
But the third one's my favorite, and because well,
Don't
the
they switch like God like
he switches
mythologies?
mythologies because he killed all the gods in the Greek one, so he just had to move over. And then
He went to Norse.
this time he had a kid, and he was just trying to chill. And then the Norse gods wanted the smoke, and then he ends up killing all of them on accident, also. So
It's crazy.
Yeah. Maximus is a good choice, though. I really strongly considered it for my list.
Yeah, when I was doing research on it, it was a pretty popular.
oh, Achilles
Yes,
also
yeah.
has a death.
Yeah,
His is
his-
pretty good too.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
it
Troy
is.
is not that great of a movie.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's not nearly as good as Gladiator.
No,
They're
not even
different.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different levels. But I like
Achilles
Troy.
has a satisfying kill. That in that opening scene.
Yeah, the first
They're
scene
like
where
they're
he's,
about to have
late.
this big battle. They're like, let's do a 1-on-1 to decide the battle. They're like, they bring out this big dude, and we're like, okay, we got Achilles over here, and he like does that leaping stab to the
Okay,
right
that's
here
right
in
in
his
his
like
shoulder and it goes
shoulder
straight through his heart.
Yeah,
That's
kill
why I
him.
like Troy. It's kind of mid in like almost all areas, but the action is really good.
True.
My favorite death from Troy is when he 1v1. You remember Hector?
yeah.
He just 1v1s him
And then
he
dragged his body
he-
behind.
He just fucks with them the whole fight. It's like
Hector
so
fought him
fun.
pretty tough.
Yes, because Hector is like a really good warrior,
Yeah.
but Achilles
Yeah,
is just
not good compared to
unstoppable.
Achilles.
He actually cut Achilles though.
Yes,
So
but it
was-
didn't harm him.
Yeah.
But
and then he took his body and dragged it. That
So
was
is
like
Achilles?
disrespect.
Is it his
Yeah.
only his tendon that is that sensitive, or is it like the whole
Yes.
ankle? Because if his mom grabbed him, you think that whole like surrounding ankle part would be
I
fragile?
guess it depends
Dude,
on how
she
big
re-
her hands are.
she really,
Yeah, that's true.
like messed that up. She really kind of just like dumped
Just
him
dropped
all
him
the way
in, yeah, and then
like,
picked him back up.
She didn't see it coming.
She just did it by the I don't know. It's
Like, I
kinda
bet
funny
you he
to think
sprained
about
his
it.
ankle so many times. Just
Yeah.
that one ankle though.
Orlando Bloom in that movie is like his most unlikable role.
Yeah, Paris.
And I really like him in Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, and Legolas. I like both
Yeah,
of those roles, but
yeah.
he's really bad at like unlikable. in
He-
this
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
I like
very
his brother
true.
though.
yeah. Hector's very likable. Eric Bana. All right, that was your number one.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Jet. What's your number one?
My number one is Darth Vader.
Okay, I considered this too. Tell me why.
I'm surprised we had no Star Wars on this list until now.
I
Yeah.
figured everyone else would have something.
Well, the thing about Vader, I could have picked Anakin, and it could have been metaphorical for his
Sure.
death because that's honestly great. But that's more of a story. That's not really a movie death to me.
Yeah.
And Darth Vader's death is just ultimate redemption, and like just it feels like a big build up, especially after the prequels. Just
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful death.
Tell your
And
sister.
it
you were
relates to my
right.
worst also.
Okay. Oh, we have the same worst then.
Do we?
Probably. We'll wait till we get there. But tell your sister
Oh,
you
yeah,
were
I
right.
know what
And
you
when
guys
Vader
have.
Vader says, "Let me look at, let me see
Take off my helmet so I can see your face or look you in the eyes
with my own eyes."
with my own eyes.
And
And Luke
it's-
says, "But you'll die." And he's like, "It's too late for that."
And he takes off the mask, and it's like
Yeah.
super sad.
Yeah.
And then they've just added so much to his death too, because if you've seen like Rebels and you've seen Kenobi, like both of them slashed
Yeah.
a part of the mask, and then only Luke could like take off the full mask. It's like
Yeah.
They should have casted Hayden Christensen for Darth Vader.
In what?
The OT.
the OT.
Yeah.
They did add him to the OT.
They did.
Technically.
He's in Return of the Jedi as a ghost. So, yeah, Jedi really consider that one too. That's a really good
There's
one.
a bunch of other good Star Wars deaths. that
Yeah.
I have some of those on
Honorable mentions. Yeah, I've got a few too. Okay, good one. All right, my number one we've already talked about, but I'll add to. It's Lord of the Rings, Boromir and the Orc.
Yeah.
I just love this scene from Fellowship of the Ring. Boromir gets his redemption, like you mentioned, before he dies. He's fighting valiantly against the Uruk-hai, trying to help Frodo get away, who he had previously tried to take the ring from. He gets shot with 3 gigantic black arrows, like in his
Fellowship
torso.
might have the highest highs out of the Lord of the Rings, like
I don't know. I think
that or the second one.
the second one, because of the Battle of Helm's Deep,
Yeah.
it's just so good.
but the
he-
first one just has a lot of stuff that I personally like love, like nostalgia.
yeah, for sure. The first one has always been my favorite until the last time we watched it. I'm like, you know what? The second one's really
The
good.
third one is definitely my least favorite.
That's the one that gets the most love.
I still really like it, but I don't know. Just a lot of it just seems like I want to get it over with the third
Yeah.
one, especially the whole last hour.
Oh, yeah, it takes
They're just
forever.
hugging each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what I was saying, as far as like franchises go and stuff like that, Lord of the Rings has a lot of comparable memes to Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many, especially Boromir. There's a lot of Boromir memes
Yeah.
out there. Whatever. And I saw one where it was like, you know, every wizard from every other franchise fights with like magic and like stuff like that, and then you got Gandalf just like swinging his stick and just fucking people up, and a sword too.
Yeah.
He's got a stick and a sword.
Yeah.
He's like old and like fighting, but like not using magic really, just like
Yeah.
beating the shit out of people with a stick.
True. That's true.
The only thing is that he kind of got his ass whooped by Saruman.
Saruman was more powerful at
He
that
just
point.
fucked him up.
Yeah.
Who would have won between when they were both Gandalf? When he was
When
Gandalf, the White.
Gandalf the White.
Ooh,
Saruman
what's
is
the
stripped
actor
of
of
his power.
Christopher Lee? Is
Yeah.
Christopher
Yeah.
Lee.
They
yeah.
fought in
He's
the-
also Count Dooku.
Didn't they fight in the books?
He's like an awesome actor.
Yeah.
Like everything he's been in like a shit ton of.
He was
movies.
also death metal in a death metal
yeah.
band.
He was also like fought in the army
yeah.
and stuff like
His-
that.
and he was in his death metal band in his 80s still, like performing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And he was a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. He
Yeah.
read the books every year, and then he got cast in it. And like,
Imagine being in Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
I know.
That's
That's
And
pretty
he
cool.
was huge. At one point, he was the tallest actor in all of Hollywood.
How did he die?
Ever. Yeah.
I did not know that. I don't know.
Was it just old age?
Probably.
He was pretty old.
He was in his 90s. But after he gets hit with the 3 big arrows, he's about to get his head taken off by the orc, and Aragorn comes over, goes ham in an awesome fight. That fight is so good.
Yeah.
He decapitates the orc. So you get 2 great deaths in this scene because Boromir dies shortly after talking to Aragorn. He apologizes for taking the ring. He offers his allegiance to Aragorn as the king. He says, "I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king." Great line, great dialogue, great acting, great action. All of it is just a beautiful shot. So that's why it was my number one. Fun fact about the Fellowship: Aragorn, Gandalf, Legolas, Boromir, Gimli, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pip. They all got a matching tattoo when they were filming.
Yeah.
And it's the Elvish symbol for 9 for the 9
That's
people
awesome.
in the Fellowship.
Dude, that's really cool. That's really cool.
All right, Cade, you got any?
Honorable mention.
I did. I had Total Recall.
Yeah,
Their
they have
eyes
a lot of
popping
good
out of their
ones.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
That
even know. I don't even know
traumatized
who
me so much
dies
as a
in that
kid.
scene, but
I think I wrote the character's name down because I considered that one. Cohagen.
Cohagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's so weird.
I have one from Kill Bill.
The wife's death in Total Recall is also satisfying because she's like, "But I'm your wife," and she kills her, and he's like, "Apology not accepted." Basically, yeah.
You said you had one from Kill Bill.
Yeah, I have one from Kill Bill.
Yo, Kill Bill, thinking about it,
A lot
just
of cool deaths.
is like anime, like into
It
a
really
movie.
is. It had to have been inspired
Especially the
by
second
some
one.
anime, yeah, like Akira or something. I had Nux from Mad Max.
I don't remember the death.
Okay, so he was the one, like, you know, like the bad guys are like white and like stitched up, and they would like spray like a like spray paint in their mouth or something like that.
Yeah.
So he was like, they followed him from the beginning of the movie, and he was like one of the bad guys, right? But then like his car, like he was like, they followed him out of all the bad guys. So like he had his own little like story, whatever, like that.
Yeah.
And he like wasn't even supposed to go on the trip or whatever, but he like found his way onto a car, and then like you know, he was like helping his friends at first, but then he got separated from the group. And then in his death scene, he like sacrificed himself to save like the good guys, because then he realized like he was like chasing Valhalla. They would all scream Valhalla because like that's like their heaven
Yeah.
or whatever like that.
So
What they
they're like
believed in.
Norse?
But then like he like gets like smart in the middle of the movie and figures out like, I'm not chasing Valhalla for the guy I'm working for. Like I gotta help the actual good
so
people. in
This
the movie.
dude starts off as a bad guy, right?
yeah,
And then, yeah.
he
You
like sacrifices. Himself
Okay, I
as a
remember
good
that.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah. I like that death scene a lot.
That movie was really good, but it's been like, when did we watch that?
We saw it in theaters, and that's the only time I've seen it.
Now I watched
Was
it
that,
again
like,
recently.
6 years ago, at least.
Probably. Yeah, it was a while ago. It was before The Force Awakens came out.
Oh damn.
So more than 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But that was a really good movie.
It was. And I like that death a lot. So
Charlize is in it too.
that's true, and she's bald.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy, and I really like Tom Hardy.
Hardy's great.
Jiu-jitsu champion.
Yeah, I saw the video.
It's crazy, right?
And he's in Warrior, which is I really like that movie too.
Is it-
He plays an MMA fighter.
Warrior, isn't that what's his
Tom
name?
Hardy.
Yes, Tom Hardy. Yeah, I know Tom Hardy and Christian Bale. Is that Warrior?
No.
No, Christian Bale's in another.
The
He's
Fighter.
in the fighter.
that one's
movie,
really
that
good.
movie's sad.
You'd like Warrior.
Yeah,
Any other honorable mentions?
I think that's it.
What about you,
I
Jeff?
just really wanted to put
Oh,
emphasis.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and the Nazis from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah, them too.
Okay, so I just put Star Wars because there's a lot.
Sure.
There is a couple bad ones, but there's also some satisfying ones. Palpatine's death was horrible. I was talking about the one from his first death.
Yeah, from Return of the Jedi.
I used to really like that ending for him, but then they brought him back, and his second death was kind of stupid because he
Kind
died.
of stupid. I mean, look at the games and stuff. Like the Emperor's never really dead.
It was just a clone.
But look
It's
at
just
what
a clone.
look at what Rey did. She shot lightning back at his face the same way that when she was shooting lightning at Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Like, you think you would learn your lesson just to stop shooting lightning at that point. you know?
Yeah. That wasn't really.
It's gotta be fun though, shooting lightning. You'd be like, yeah,
Dude, from Star Wars, Obi-Wan's death.
Darth Maul.
yeah. Obi-Wan's death is good.
Darth Maul's death is great also.
Yeah, it is. But Obi-Wan's death, I thought, was, meaningful.
Yeah,
Sacrificed himself.
fives.
Oh,
Fives.
yes.
Fives is sad. Yoda?
Yeah.
Yoda's it takes too long. I think Obi-Wan's death is a lot better than
I think so
Yoda's.
too. Yeah. Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I love Rogue One.
I had the chestburster dude from Alien.
That's a good one.
That was on my list for the whole time.
The
and then I
only
took it off at
reason
the very
why
end.
I don't even know the character's name, so that's why. But
Yeah.
the death, it was like an actual reaction. Like it was like they didn't tell him.
They didn't know it was going to
at
happen.
all,
Yeah. That's a great one. Jurassic Park, Gennaro, the dude that gets eaten on the toilet.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
That's a great one. I almost put, instead of my number 5 ended up being The Professional, but the other one I was considering was The Princess Bride, when the Inigo Montoya
Kills
finally kills the
his
six-fingered
guy,
man.
his father.
Yeah, that's a really great one.
Inigo
Just-
Montoya is my favorite character
for sure, yeah.
of that movie.
Dude, and this one was on my list the entire time. I took it off at the very end. Serenity, when Wash dies.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
It's like surprising and it's sad. I took it off because it doesn't really serve the plot of the movie.
They don't really talk about him much after.
Yeah, they just have his funeral at the end. But I mean, it's in the middle of all the action, so they don't have a lot of time. But that one I thought was really good. Terminator 2, Die Hard, Hans, Gladiator, Harry Potter. None of us talked about Harry Potter.
That's true.
What is the best movie death from the Harry Potter franchise? Snape for sure. Yeah. That's like the
Death
turning
is very
point.
long.
Yeah, but it's like when Harry realizes, you know what, he's actually a good guy.
Yeah, it's
He's trying to
probably
help
the
him all
best
the time.
one. Honestly, Harry Potter doesn't do deaths that well, I feel like.
The other,
Bellatrix Lestrange.
well, the
Hers
other one,
is dumb. She dies to Ron's mom
I
out of
know.
all
It's
people.
satisfying. If you didn't like Bellatrix, it was
another
satisfying.
good one, Nagini,
Yeah.
because Neville cuts
yeah.
his head off. Yeah, that's like that scene is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
That's like so shocking for Neville to do that also.
Yeah. Another one that was on my list and I took it off, American History X, the mouth stomp on the curb.
Oh yeah.
You told me about this. I've never seen that movie.
Oh
though.
god, it's
Dude, that
it's
one's
traumatizing.
just messed up.
It is, but like, I don't know.
Some guy get like
what
actually
about-
curb stomped.
Yes,
What's
Damn.
Come on, John. What's his name?
Terminator. Oh,
the kid in American History
Oh,
X.
Eddie Furlong.
Yeah, his death, and
Yeah, that one's sad.
and
Yeah,
also really shocking.
also shocking. Yeah. Let's see. I had
That
Vader.
movie's just
For one,
uncomfortable.
Another honorable mention I had when you guys were talking about Leo DiCaprio, it reminded me of his Django character.
I haven't seen Django.
You haven't seen Django Unchained?
No.
He dies in that movie.
Yes.
How?
So like he plays like this is probably the best I've ever seen Leo DiCaprio's acting. He plays like a racist, like a slave owner in that movie. He puts so much emphasis on the N word, like when he uses it. It's
Yeah.
like it feels real. Like
Yeah.
he seems like a real racist person in the movie, and like he dies by one of the main characters in the end, like a really satisfying death. And like half of the movie, you don't even like meet him. Like he's not even like in the movie, and then like the rest of the movie, he's like the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Is Django a badass in that movie?
Oh yeah,
I've heard-
Jamie
I've heard
Foxx
he
is
is.
awesome in that movie.
One-
I've heard that's like one of his best roles for sure.
It's my favorite Tarantino movie for sure.
I need to see it.
Yeah,
Braveheart.
yeah,
7. John Doe's death in 7.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's really satisfying. Hook, when Rufio dies.
Well,
is
actually,
super sad.
John Doe's is like bittersweet because Brad Pitt
Because he
goes-
wins by dying.
Yeah.
yeah.
Some kind
That,
of.
but that makes it like a cool movie death.
Yeah.
Rufio's death was sad for me in Hook.
That one's. I was shocked that they killed like
A
kind of
kid.
a kid.
Yeah.
in that.
Groundhog Day because he dies like 700 times. Kill Bill I had, and then I didn't include it because I only had movies. But Game of Thrones has some really satisfying and pretty.
Yeah,
cool
I
deaths,
thought
too.
that. I thought of a lot of
Ramsey.
show deaths. That'd be good.
Ramsey's
we
a
could
good
have
one.
used a lot of Walking Dead.
Oberyn,
Also.
Oberyn Martell.
Yeah.
That's not a satisfying one, but man, it was a gruesome one.
Yeah, that's their specialty.
Yeah.
Death scenes. Like in it was the first season, when Daenerys' brother gets
Oh,
that, like
yeah,
gold
Viserys.
poured on his
That's a good one,
head.
too.
Oh,
yeah.
what's his name?
Joffrey, when Joffrey.
Yeah, that's Joffrey's the obvious one.
Khal
yeah.
Drogo had a lame death
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
not that
because
well,
we saw one scene.
Definitely like
the,
sickness
The pyre.
He-
He got poisoned.
He has one fight scene, and he's so badass in it. And right after that scene, he dies.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
like, ugh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, none of them hurt as much as Ned Stark.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was bad.
That's kind of. I didn't watch further after that.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't really want to.
Red Wedding.
The red. He never got to the red wedding.
Oh my god.
He doesn't even know what happened.
It surprised me so much when
I
I,
know.
saw that. I was like,
What happened?
You just like
I
killed
mean,
off
I'm
like
not gonna
this
tell
whole
you. I'm not gonna tell you.
storyline, like
know.
everything, everyone.
The red wedding is
crazy.
probably.
Is it the best episode?
It's equally as shocking as Ned Stark's death, I would say.
Yeah. No, it was more shocking for me.
You think so?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it a good episode?
You just need to watch it. That's all
need
I'm
to
gonna
start
say.
watching
Yeah,
it again,
you,
yeah.
you need to finish Game of Thrones.
Maybe I will.
All right. You guys have any more honorable mentions?
No,
I
let's
think we
move
covered
on.
everything. We branched off quite a bit.
We did. All right, Cade, what is.
The worst.
I hate that y'all brought this up, but it was Wash from Serenity.
dude.
I really hate that you guys brought this up.
I'm sorry.
Like it didn't want. Yeah, you're right. It didn't help the plot at all. It was so unexpected. He just like the ship just comes in. He just gets like speared like through his whole torso and just
Yeah.
he's just dead. And he's like everyone's favorite character.
I believe. Watch How I Soar. Yeah.
Okay, honestly, Wash is definitely not one of my favorites.
Oh, everybody loves
I
Wash.
love Wash.
He's
dude.
funny, but like, I like him more than Jane and Zoe.
It's one of those characters where like I
And
want him
Kaylee.
to act like that in real life, like
and
the
Simon.
actor.
Okay, I like him more than most, but Mal's better.
River.
River's better. And who's
Simon. Book.
Okay, he's like third,
Yeah. Hey, everybody loves
but
him.
but Mal and River are definitely better.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch Firefly and Serenity, but this death, I hated this death.
Yeah.
I hated it. There's
It was
point.
sad. I'm sorry I brought it up. I almost had it on my top 5, and then I took it off because, like you said, it didn't serve the plot. But
Yeah, that's why it's my worst.
Jen,
Not
I think-
needed.
I think you and I have the same worst.
What's your worst?
Luke?
Yep, Luke Skywalker's my worst.
I ended up picking the death that pissed me off the most.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke's, I understand that his character needed to die, and it was a good thing for the overall story that his character died. I get that. But the way it happened pisses me off because they wasted so much time on Luke being the reluctant hero and doing stupid things like throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder.
They
and,
needed to change his story because they couldn't have just had him on an island, and he'd just be the same character he was from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I get that.
He never left.
But he could have felt guilty or something. The fact that they just treated him as a dickhead the whole movie.
Yeah.
Then he gets one redemption moment and dies. It's just.
And he
I don't
wasn't
know, it's
even really
wasted.
there. He wasn't even there.
No.
It was a forced projection, which I'm
Projection.
fine with,
Yeah.
as long as he didn't die in that scene. He needed a real reunion with Leia. He needed a real
He never
reunion with
got
Han.
it. He never got that.
He needed a real reunion with R2.
Yeah.
Come on.
We never got to see those three together again.
I know. It just it pisses me off.
It
It just
really
ruined
does.
it ruined it for me.
And I liked Han Solo's death at first because like
His death doesn't bother me except for the fact we didn't get a reunion.
yeah,
But The Force
And
Awakens to me is a great movie.
Leia's death is also not that good, but they
No.
couldn't have done much with it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it pissed me off. So that's my worst.
It's a fair choice.
I also don't like Cad Bane's death, but I don't know if he's dead or not
True,
because
we
his
don't
thing
know.
was still beeping.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on Luke?
No.
All right. We'll go to
Listener choices.
So we asked social media to share their best movie death, and this was a popular topic. We got a lot of votes on this, but they were spread out a lot across a lot of different movies. So I'm just going to tell you what number one was.
Titanic.
No, Braveheart.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Freedom. Everybody loves Braveheart, so it's a good
I
choice.
put Gladiators up there too. Maximus.
Gladiator came in at number. It was, I don't know, because it got 2 votes, so not a whole lot, but it made the list at least. A lot of people picked Iron Man from the Avengers.
That was almost my
Oh, that was
worst.
pretty
I
sad.
hated his last line.
I don't even know what it was.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, that was just like corny. I did
No.
not like it.
I don't think I've
Oh,
seen
Marvel
Endgame.
kind of died after
It's
Iron
not
Man.
worth it,
died.
honestly.
I have had superhero movie fatigue for like a decade now, so
Yeah.
I've hardly seen any. But
But I like Iron Man.
Oh yeah, Iron Man's great. The movies, but
Iron Man is my favorite character in the MCU for sure.
Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm just saying, there's a
Yeah,
lot
just
worse
like-
death in like almost every third act of a Marvel movie. The
Yeah.
villain dies in a stupid way. Like those are way worse deaths than me than Iron Man. I'm just saying.
A lot of people also picked Sonny Corleone from The Godfather and John Coffey from Green Mile.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that is a sad one. That's a good one. Artax got a lot of votes. See, I had Artax on saddest movie deaths, so
Yeah.
I wasn't going to repeat there. And like My Girl and Littlefoot's mom, those. I mean, I didn't want to reuse those, but
Yeah.
those were all good ones too, and they got a lot of votes.
What did I
So-
put for the saddest movie death? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Guess we gotta move on.
Predator.
What?
No, I'm kidding. That was a callback because you at one point on the show said Predator 2 is better than Predator 1.
I never said that.
I have
remember
the
you
audio.
believing it.
Predator 1 is way better.
have evidence,
I've never said Predator 2.
I have the audio. We could pull it up.
No, we don't need to.
All right. Let's go on to the
Pew pew pew
Good.
pew
Glenn Solomon fun fact of the week.
pew pew pew
Good.
pew.
What would be your guess for the movie that has the record for the most on-screen deaths? This means that
Wait.
you see them die. Not like they blew up Alderaan and a billion people died. It has to be you see the deaths.
Is it a
Oh,
horror
man.
movie?
That is not a horror movie.
Is it Sharknado or something like
no.
that?
You will never, ever, ever guess.
Is
And
it
it's the
Prime?
record by a lot. It's an MCU movie. It has 83,871 on
Is it
screen.
Endgame?
No. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, just thinking about it,
All
it
those
is just
pilots.
reckless chaos,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of the time, like you're just going around mowing people down.
Yondu.
Lord of the Rings had I think all 3 were in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah, they all have a lot of
Yeah.
on-screen deaths too.
Makes
but
sense.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the deadliest movie.
That was loud.
Yeah. All right, Jet.
It's time for Jet's pun of the week.
All right, Jet. Let's put the fun back in funeral. What you got for us?
I don't know if you'll like this one. Bruce Willis was found dead due to a Viagra overdose. I guess he died hard.
I've heard that before. Yeah. All right, that's all right. You know, when I was doing the research for this, I saw an ad that gave me an advertisement for coffins, and I thought that's the last thing I need.
Yeah.
Say it again.
No.
Say it again.
I saw an ad for coffins, and I thought that's the last thing I need.
Oh, I get it.
You get it. Okay. I do have a joke, actually. I'm going to tell it. All right. An old man dies, and his wife is at the funeral home, and she's looking at him in his black suit that they've prepared for him, and he looks handsome, and she's sad, and she's kind of grieving. And she goes to the funeral director and says, you know what? You've done a great job, but his favorite color was blue. His eyes are blue. He always wore a blue suit. Is it possible that you could get him a really nice blue suit? I'll give you a blank check. Just I don't care how much it costs. I know it's not included in what I've already paid. Please go get him a blue suit, and it'll just make me happy, and I think he'll be at peace when we lay him to rest. And he says, of course, that's no problem. We'll take care of it. And she reminds him, he always loved dressing sharp, so please find him a really nice blue suit. He says, okay, we'll take care of it. So he does that. She comes back the next day, and she sees her beloved husband in a new blue suit. It's a really nice shirt and a tie that matches, and she smiles, and she's happy. She's got a tear running down her face. She says, it's perfect, and he would have loved it. And the funeral director is pleased with himself. He thinks he did a good job, and he hands her back the blank check. Says there's no charge. And she protests. This must have cost thousands of dollars. This is a really nice suit. I can't let you just not pay or not pay, take my money for it. How can this be? And he says, well, someone else came in. Another man died, and he was recently deceased, and he was wearing this suit. And his wife actually said, I would prefer him in a black suit. So it's all taken care of. All I had to do was switch the heads.
Oh my God. That's awful.
That was a really long joke.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to everybody for taking the time to listen. Contact us at all the stuff I told you about before. And I had an idea for our next episode because we've been talking about it on the prior 2 episodes. Please join us on 5 to 1 for our discussion on fast food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
By the one, so it's guaranteed you can do you.